I had to lie to them and go and play football, like what I've done while wicket keeping for India. I always go up to Virat and tell him, we can do this, we can try this. Records is not something I I've played for, or I would encourage younger players to play for.
Hello, friends. Welcome to SGTV. We have the classy KL Rahul with us. So we're going to just have an informal discussion with him. Hi, Rahul. How are you?
Hi, Parth. All good. How are you?
Very good. So,
Good
Rahul,
to
I'm going to
talk
ask
to you. It's been
you.
a while. Yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah,
So I'm going to just start shooting the questions. The first question I want to ask
sure.
you is obviously related to the situation that we're all in, and
Yeah.
how difficult it is, to be in a bio bubble, and how do you guys manage? It's not easy doing it again and again.
Yeah, I think the first couple of bio bubbles were still manageable because it was new, so there was something exciting about being in a new sort of mold. So one or two bio bubbles went by, it was fine, but now I think it's starting to um, get to a few of us. It does
Mhm.
really get very difficult inside the bubble because we've been doing this uh, continuously for a while now, so it does get to you as a player. But I mean, as a sportsman, um, you don't expect an easy life. When you choose this life, you do realize that you will be put in uncomfortable situations every day of your life till you probably retire. So we're taking this as um, another such challenge and trying to see what best we can do. There are a lot of things that are against you in a bio bubble, but there are a few things that are positives as well. You do get a lot of time for yourself. You do get a lot of time to sit back and think about your sport, think about your skill, reconnect with your family, with your friends. So it does give you a lot of time. There's hardly any chance for any other distraction. So that's one good thing. So you try and take things as it comes, and that's something that sport has taught us. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so believe become, that's been the tagline for SG for quite some time. So if you have to describe it, what's your definition of the same?
Well, it's very self-explanatory. I think you any walk of life, not just for a sportsman, if
Mhm.
everything starts with an idea, with the belief that um, you can achieve something and you can do things that other people probably don't expect you to do. So it all starts with self-belief, and the that self-belief teamed up with hard work and dedication is
Mhm.
it takes you to places that you want to be. So
Correct.
it's something that I've lived by as well, as a person. It's just the
Mhm.
self belief that I've had throughout my career is what has gotten me so far. So that's, yeah, for me, that is what it means. You believe and you become. If you don't
And
believe yourself, then there is no point, or there's I don't think you will taste any success. If your parents believe, if your coach believes, you can have the whole country believing in you, but if you don't believe
yeah.
yourself, then you're not in a great place.
Okay, so when you were growing up as a kid, there were obviously other options uh, in choosing a sport. What made you choose cricket, and at what age did you realize, okay, this is it? I'm going to make a career out of cricket.
um I mean, I'd like to say it was destiny in a way.
Mhm.
The sport chose me as well. I
Mhm.
obviously love, like any other kid in our country. Cricket is the biggest sport, so we all play cricket. Um, and for me, I liked playing sport, every other sport in school. I was a
Mhm.
huge fan of football, and I played a lot of football in school. And there were times where my coach and my father had to I had to lie to them and go and play football because they were never supportive of football because they all, like Ajay said, they all believed that I was very talented with the bat. On a cricket field, I would be more uh, probably had the best chance to be successful as a person. So they, sometimes I had to hide and lie and go and play football because it excited me. But as I finished school, and I think there was an under 19 World Cup coming up, and there was a tour before that to Australia. And I was till then I was playing sport. I was playing cricket for I like the sport. I was always dedicated and always disciplined towards whatever I was doing, be it studies or be it sports. So I was giving it, say, about 50-60%, and I was enjoying my sport. And I was scoring runs everywhere. I was captain for Karnataka. Everything, all of that was happening. But um, I felt I was going to get selected for that India tour of Australia, and I did not get selected, which broke my heart. And that is when that's when I told myself that I'm going to achieve. I'm not going to let someone else select me and someone else drop me. That is when it hit me, and that is when I started taking the sport a lot more seriously. And I was about 17 years of age. By then, I just finished school. Um, so yeah, from then on, I give my 100% to the game, and yeah, I'm grateful and lucky that the game has given me a little bit of rewards.
And you've obviously played a lot of cricket for Karnataka,
Yeah.
and even now, despite playing international cricket, whenever you get an opportunity, or you have some time from your international calendar, we see that you represent Karnataka, and you're really very passionate for the state team. So, what's the connect there? How have you been able to continue doing that for such a long time?
See, I mean, without Karnataka State giving me the opportunities at the early age, or investing their time and investing so much money into a young player. I mean, I remember from when I was under 13, the state has always backed me. They've given me opportunities. They've made me the captain. They've sent me to national camps, and they've sent me to zonal camps. They were always, um, you know, they obviously invested a lot of time in me. So I don't. I mean, I feel it's every player's duty to always go back to the grassroots and try and
Yeah.
help in whatever way you can. And even for me, it's good match practice to go out there. And sometimes playing international cricket, there's a lot of pressure. You forget to enjoy the game because of the pressure there is. When you go back to first class cricket, Ranji Trophy cricket, you're playing with the boys that you've grown up with. You have so many stories, so many experiences together. To go back there, have a little bit of fun, play good level of cricket, and you get some runs, and then you get that confidence, and then that carries on into international cricket. So I love going back, playing for Karnataka. I feel like it's every player's responsibility to always go back to state cricket, and you know dedicate a little bit of time whenever possible away from international calendar, whenever there is time to go back to play, help your state mates, speak to them, just share stories about what is different about playing at first class level, what is different playing international cricket. They'll have a lot of questions. You just sit, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy going back there and playing. And like I said, I that's the bare minimum you can do for your state that has given you so much support over the years. Without their support, I don't think any player would have reached where they've reached in their careers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And now that the matches are happening, thankfully, despite
yeah,
the situation, which is good for the sport, good for the fans.
yeah.
How different is it to be playing without the crowds? Does it make a difference, or now you've been doing it for some time? So, what's your thought on that?
Um, initially we did think that it will make a big difference, or it might the intensity may not be as high as when there is a full stadium full of people. But I think we were all wrong in that aspect, because once you put your uh, blue jersey on, and you put the helmet on and cross the rope, whether there are no people, you have a responsibility. You are representing your country, and you're playing against uh, the best players from every other country. So that intensity um, was there. So we never felt, that we obviously missed having the noise and having the energy of the crowds. But even without it, I think the cricketers still manage to continue to play good cricket and show that intensity on the field, so that the people sitting at home watching the games were still still having a great experience and still enjoying our cricket.
And obviously, I've seen you since you were a teenager, and
Yeah,
you just recently turned 29. So
yeah.
already, there's been a journey that you have covered in cricket so far. So how do you see yourself evolved? What, being a teenager playing, and now you are, in your late 20s. So how has KL Rahul evolved in all these years as an athlete, as a human being? So what do you see there?
Uh, yeah, I mean, Paras bhai, when you say late 20s, my heart misses a few beats. I was just speaking to my trainer yesterday, and I was making some changes with my training programs and with my diet and everything. And
Yeah, yeah,
he's like, so he told me, I cannot believe, that flashy, brash youngster that you were.
yeah.
And today, look at you being so disciplined. I was like, I can't believe it myself. Within a blink of an eye,
Yeah,
you 5 or 6 years has just
yeah.
gone by so quickly. So yeah, I think over the years I've become a lot more calmer, a lot more balanced in my approach towards life, towards cricket. Um, Obviously, like I said, playing sport teaches you so much at every step of the way.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
it takes you right up, it throws you back down. So there's always a lot happening. So if you remain balanced, and you take it as it comes, you enjoy the journey. If you are if you get too caught up with success, or only wanting good days, you sometimes don't enjoy the game, or you some way or the other you miss out. So uh, yeah, I think those are the things that have changed, and I'm still the same boy who used to enjoy playing cricket, enjoyed battling in the middle, taking on challenges. Yeah, I still that way I'm still the same person, but um, otherwise, I think off the field I've become a lot more calmer and a lot more balanced in my approach.
And if say if you have to talk to our viewers about there are people who are talented, there are people who are who very hardworking. That's a combination that is there. And there's immense talent in the country. Especially if we talk about cricket. How important is your mental strength? Your like we've been talking about self belief. So how important do you think that is for an athlete, for any human being for that matter? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, as you age, and as you grow older, and as you finish your junior cricket, um, if you're at a certain level, if you're playing first class cricket, or if you're playing IPL cricket, whatever level you're playing, that means you already have uh, you are somebody who's mentally strong, or mentally aware of what you're doing. But it's important that from there, how you grow. Like I said, it's very important to become balanced in your approach towards the game, towards life. um, you know, just mental. Your skill, I think, for me, till you're 22 or 23, what you've done, what you've learned in terms of skill will remain till
Mm-hmm.
however long you play the game. You can obviously uh, improve a little bit with, you can
Yeah.
develop a few more shots as a player, or as a bowler you can develop one or
Yeah.
two newer skills like a
Uh-huh.
slower ball or an in-swing bowler. Learning how to bowl a little bit of outswing, that's as much as you can improve in terms of skill. But if you're
Uh-huh.
mentally strong, mentally aware, if you're somebody who sits and thinks deeply about the game, about yourself, or how I can improve, what are the things that are my strengths, how can I make my strengths really, really strong, and how there will be weaknesses in players. And a lot of times I feel players are um, in search of turning all those weaknesses into strengths. That will never happen. That is very important to understand, that what
Yeah. Yeah.
weaknesses you have, like the same way you're blessed with your strengths, you will be, I wouldn't call it a blessing, but there will be things that you are not
Yeah.
good at. So instead of sitting and thinking, no, I want to completely, for example, if a batsman has a problem with a bowler bowling outswing, it will always remain. It's only about how can I survive that period of time when the ball is swinging.
Yeah.
How can I learn
Yeah.
to leave the ball, or how can I learn to play the ball little bit late? Those are the things. If
Correct.
you're mentally strong, you sit and you analyze and you work on your game. So, and that is what will help you get from one. That what will help you get higher levels in your sport. Because as you go higher, you will be more uncomfortable. You will not play with the boys that you're playing. You won't play in a comfortable group. You'll have a different coach. You'll have different captains. You'll have different opening partners, different batting partners, different team altogether. So at that time, you're sometimes, even though it's a team sport, you're fighting your own battle alone. There will be your teammates that will support you, but for that, when that happens, you need that mental strength. You need that mental strength to handle the pressure and perform. You need that mental strength to, when you're not performing, to still remain calm and balanced and learn from your mistakes and come back. So for me, it's once you cross 22, 23, it's 50-50, 50% of skill and 50% of mental strength.
Wow, very good. That's that's a lot, you know. So you feel that
Yeah,
it's as important as your talent, as important as your hard work that you're putting in.
100%.